So depending on where you live, tomorrow is the official worldwide release for FIFA 20. And I do feel sorry for a lot of people that are going to be picking up the game tomorrow and playing career mode because it is riddled with bugs. Most of the time it is unplayable unless you're using a bigger team. But yeah, we're going to talk about that a bit today. But today is going to be like a career mode guide for you guys. Things that you shouldn't be doing in career mode. So of course we're going to be talking about different things like training, scouting and stuff like that. So it's going to be a fun video. And of course you don't have to listen to everything that I say. Everyone plays the game differently. This is just like a general guide because I know that everyone wants to do things their own way as well. If you do go on to enjoy the video, remember to hit that thumbs up button for me. And if you're new around here, we do a lot of FIFA 20 content, a lot of FIFA 20 stuff in general. So if you don't want to miss anything, make sure you hit the subscribe button today. Now, squad morale is a very big thing in FIFA 20 career mode, much bigger than the board objectives, to be honest. It's going to follow you everywhere you go. If you do press conferences, morale is going to be there. Post-match interviews, player conversations, it's all about that player morale and squad morale. So the higher it is, the more players are going to grow, the better they're going to become over time, and the lower it is, your players are going to start to decrease in stats and stuff. So it sort of affects potentials and all that kind of stuff. Now what you need to do is every conversation you have, every interview you have to sort of be the nice guy and say nice things, even if you don't want to. If you want to see your squad morale go up, you have to say the nice stuff. And if you want to play the villain, I guess, you can say negative stuff and see it go down. Sometimes I like to give honest responses based on what I've seen on my screen. So if the team played bad, I would say, the team played bad, and then I would take a hit on the morale. But most of the time, when the team wins and stuff, you can just say nice things and the morale goes up. Player conversations, you don't want to say too many negative things as well. Otherwise, a player would be very, very low on morale. So I guess you get the point. Make sure you say positive stuff whenever you get the chance, because squad morale is your friend this year. Now, if you're the type of person that likes to do longer calendar simulations, like simming a whole season through the calendar section, then you might be in trouble this year, because last year in FIFA 19, you could sim a whole season and you wouldn't really get sacked depending on how bad your team was. Like if you were United, you could sort of simulate a whole year and you would still keep your job because the team would perform relatively well. This year, if you try and do that, you will be sacked within like 2 games left of the season. So you won't even last the full season. You'll have to find another job, and it doesn't matter what team you are, because this year you have to manage squad morale and stuff like that. And if you do a full length calendar simulation, you're not really managing your squad. The AI really doesn't do anything in terms of squad morale. You end up with unhappy players and players wanting to leave and all that kind of stuff. So if you're going to do simulations, do them like in short bursts where you do maybe like 3 or 4 games and then you manage your squad, and then do another 3 or 4 games, manage your squad again. Don't do those long ones because you will be sacked by the end of your simulation. Another thing that you shouldn't do in FIFA 20 career mode is not plan for the bad scheduling. So what do I mean by that? Well, have you ever had a season where everything is going good and then you're challenging for the titles and all of a sudden you cop the fixture pile up? What do I mean? Those 2 things right there. On the 19th, you've got a game. On the 20th, you've got a game. And you have absolutely no rotation available for your team to give them a break. So you're forcing them to play every single match. And by the end of it, you're going to be dropping points and stuff like that. So what do I recommend? Well, if you're going to sign players, make sure you have a backup for every position, because once the scheduling kicks in, the bad scheduling kicks in, you can have reserve players come in and do the job, give your other players a rest, because they haven't fixed scheduling in FIFA 20 career mode at the moment. So sometimes there's going to be a day or 2 break and then you have to play another game. So depending on how good your team is, what competitions you're in still, you're going to be copying some bad scheduling. So make sure you compensate for that when you do your transfers. Now, I think everyone is guilty of doing this, but if you can, avoid using sites like FIFA and whatever else there is out there in terms of databases, because basically what a lot of people do is, instead of scouting players and using their scout system to try and bring in players, they just go on FIFA, look up the high potential players, look up the best overall players, and just sign them, train them for a bit, and then after maybe 1 or 2 years, you have like this B squad full of high potential young players. Now, that is the very easy way to do career mode. If you're looking for more of a challenge, I suggest you use the scouts. But like I said earlier, everyone is guilty of doing this, including myself. I still do this sometimes to this day. But sometimes I use FIFA when there's like 2 days to go in the transfer window and you don't have time to scout a player for like 30 days to get their full value and their full stats, because sometimes in career mode you don't know anything about a player in terms of their value and stuff. So I just use sites like FIFA when I'm looking for that last minute signing, instead of using the scouts, which I don't have enough time for. I just go on that. But yeah, try and get your signings done using the scout system rather than FIFA. It just gives you more of a challenge. Another thing that you shouldn't do in FIFA 20 career mode is not train your players. Now, the training system isn't the best, but it is good enough if you want to accelerate the growth of some of your younger players that you can't give game time to. So what I usually do with training is put one of the young players in, the ones that have like the promising icon next to their name. I do one striker, one midfielder, one defender, and so on like that. And then every week you simulate drills and they grow really quick. It's a good way to accelerate how their stats go up. Another thing you shouldn't do in FIFA 20 career mode is not scout your players before you sign them. Now, of course, everyone uses things like FIFA and stuff that can help them. So this really only applies to a few people that don't want to use the databases. But what happens with me is if I don't scout a player that has none of their information revealed to me, I always overpay for them. So if you go into the transfer negotiations blindfolded and you don't know the value of the player, the contracts, you don't know the value of their salary, then you're going to overpay because you'll be too scared to underpay them. And if you underpay them, they will walk out of the room. So you got to be very careful with that. So my suggestion is to always scout the player as much as you can before you actually go and try and get them. Or you can just go and cheat and check FIFA. That'll give you a rough estimate. Another thing that you shouldn't do in FIFA 20 career mode is ignore the catalog. What do I mean by that? Press R3 when you're in career mode and it'll take you to this hidden catalog system where you can unlock a few different things. So you can unlock things like manage a career, focus training, scout future star. There was also the financial takeover things. There's about 4 of those, I think. So actually 3 of them so far. There's a lot of future star scouts. You can unlock international manager offer, edit player in career, all these kinds of stuff that are available. And you shouldn't ignore it, but you should definitely check it out and see if it applies to your situation. Like a financial takeover could be useful for some people. Another thing that you shouldn't do in FIFA 20 career mode is ignore pre-contract signings. Now this could be one of the best ways to get transfers into your team. Some say that it is a little bit broken how world-class players are always going on free transfers and you can just sign some of the world's best players after a few seasons in career mode all on free transfers. Well, I guess it depends how you want to play the game. If you want an easy run, you can abuse this system. If you don't want an easy run, you don't abuse the system. But you shouldn't ignore it. And I believe you can use sites like FIFA, or you can even send your scouts out that will search for players that have 1 year or less on their contract. So basically, it applies to anyone who has 6 months left on their contract. You can sign them in January and they will join your squad for free in the upcoming start of the new season. Another thing that you shouldn't do in FIFA 20 career mode is ignore the pre-season tournaments. Just pick one, even if you don't feel like playing it. You can sim all the matches and it will generate some extra money for you. It is easy money. Sometimes you even get to the final and win it as well, and you can pocket 7 or 8 million. And yeah, like I said, it's easy money. Don't skip it. You can just sim the matches and you can collect some money that will help for your transfers. Now, one thing that you shouldn't do at the moment in FIFA 20 career mode is start a proper save. You might be thinking, I've just bought the game, I want to play career mode. Well, currently in career mode, there is a lot of bugs which really affects the experience. It's not just little things, it's actually big things that, are going to ruin it for you. So I suggest if you're doing a proper save like a road to glory or something, best that you hold out because it's not going to end well for you at the moment. I would wait for the patch. I don't know when that's coming. Apparently the team is aware, but I just don't know how they don't test this game out before they actually release it. Like, doesn't anyone turn on the console at EA and play career mode? It just doesn't make sense how no one has spotted this in a whole year of development. I don't know how they can release something like this as well, because it's just a big, stuff you to the people that play offline and people that paid full price for the game and stuff. And yeah, it's just very bad to see, man, the current state of career mode. You think it's going to get better, but every year it's just something. Hopefully they do release the day 1 patch tomorrow and everything gets fixed, so people can get going, because otherwise it could be weeks before we see something and before career mode players can actually start proper saves. Now, if you're unaware of the problems, I did 2 episodes this week of problems in career mode. The first one being that things like the squads aren't even updated yet, but I think they're going to update the squads tomorrow anyway. The Champions League groups are not this year's groups, they're last year's groups. Hopefully they do fix that tomorrow as well. And one of the biggest issues is the AI clubs not using their proper starting 11 when they're versing lower rated teams. So if you're an Aston Villa playing against, Liverpool or United, then they're going to play their reserves instead of playing their full strength team. At the start of the season, Spurs will use their rotated team against you instead of their proper 11. So also the league tables are a little bit dodgy as well. You have Man City getting relegated, Chelsea getting relegated. Sometimes Man City come 8th or 9th. So very, very unrealistic. It does affect the Europa League groups and stuff like that. And there's also a thing where if you edit a player and you do something like untuck their shirt or something, they will also change position, and sometimes they will lose overall points as well. So that's not good. So if you haven't watched that video, I suggest you go and check out those 2 episodes of things that are broken in career mode so far. Hopefully they do get patched, and once they do, I think you should be fine to start a save, but don't start anything proper until the patches come out. Here is the latest news regarding the career mode situation. So someone wrote to Zaro, sort out career mode, and Zaro goes, we've already brought all the current feedback about the issues to the responsible teams. We'll try and provide an update as soon as I get more info back from the team. So I don't know if that guarantees any day one patches or anything, but look, they know the issues, but who knows when we're going to get them fixed. So this was a fun video to make. Overall, I am enjoying my time on career mode. They just need to patch a few things, but I think career mode isn't too bad this year, much better than FIFA 19's one. I have enjoyed my time on the Manchester United career mode at the moment. But anyway, let me know if you're picking up FIFA 20 tomorrow, and let me know if you're doing any career modes. And if you need something else to watch, make sure you hit the card in the middle. It'll take you to another FIFA 20 video of mine. I'll see you next time.